Before you enjoy this week's episode, we want to tell you about a whole new podcast that you should check out.
Something mysterious is stirring on Ahway Island. Adventures on Ahway Island is a brand new podcast for curious kids just like you. It's an exciting story that unfolds weekly. The adventure begins when Marie finds a mysterious paper that leads her and her two best friends on an epic journey that will change everything they know about Ahway Island. The adventure is now. Follow on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss an episode of Adventures on Ahway Island. You can find the Adventures on Ahway Island podcast on your favorite podcast player or at ahwayisland.com. That's AHWAY island.com.
New episodes of Adventures on Ahway Island come out every Tuesday, so give them a listen and show them all the love you've been showing us since we got our start 7 years ago. We've listened to the first episodes that are already available, and we are big fans. The story is amazing, and we can't wait to hear more. You can find a link to Adventures on Ahway Island in the show notes for this episode.
And now it's time to get curious.
Hello, and welcome back to the Curious Kid Podcast. When Olivia and Noah were a bit younger, we would go to the Philadelphia Zoo and the Adventure Aquarium in Camden, New Jersey often. Our family had memberships to both places. At Adventure Aquarium, there is an exhibit that is one of our favorites because it lets you get up close to and even touch a really beautiful and unique sea creature. Can you guess what sea creature I'm talking about? It's definitely not a shark. I wouldn't be brave enough to touch a shark. It's also not a whale. It probably wouldn't be a great idea to touch one of those. Let's find out what sea creature we're getting curious about this week.
Sextuple mailbag.
Sextuple mailbag. My name is Kingsley. I live in San Diego, California, and I am curious about stingrays and manta rays. I'm 5 years old and my birthday is in a few weeks, so I will be 6 years old soon. Thanks, Kingsley. Hello guys, I am Victor, 6 years old from Athens, Greece. I really like your podcast and I would love it if you could get curious about stingrays or dogs and kids' friendships. Thank you, Victor. Hi all, my son Luca, 5 years old, loves listening to the Curious Kid podcast. Luca wanted to let you know that he's curious about blisters, stingrays, and jellyfish. I hope this email finds you well. My family and I are big fans of the podcast, especially on the drive to school. We love learning something new with each episode, and your ability to make complex topics so fun and easy to understand is truly amazing. My 8-year-old son Luis from Houston, Texas, has a special request for an episode, the Heliobatus, an extinct freshwater stingray from the Eocene epoch. We think it would be a fantastic topic for kids who are curious about prehistoric life and how paleontologists uncover secrets of the past. Your humor and amazing facts would make it an unforgettable episode. Thank you for considering this idea, and we're looking forward to many more wonderful episodes. Hi there, I love listening to your podcast. The cave episode is my favorite. Please, can you get curious about stingrays? Thank you, Theo, age 4, from London, England.
Wowee! That was amazing! We are so excited to learn all about stingrays for Kingsley, Victor, Luca, Luis, Theo, and Nathaniel from Brisbane, Australia, who filled out an episode topic suggestion form to let us know that he is curious about tigers, stingrays, and cars. And he wanted to let us know that he really likes the podcast.
It's so exciting to have an international mailbag with mail from Greece, England, and Australia. By the way, if you're curious about some of the other topics that were suggested, like dogs, jellyfish, and cars, we've already covered those topics in previous episodes. So give those episodes a listen to learn about those topics. Okay, Olivia, what's the question of the week?
The question of the week is, what is the average lifespan of a stingray?
That's a good one. While you're thinking about the answer, let's learn all about one of the coolest creatures in the ocean, the stingray.
When I first saw a stingray, it kind of reminded me of an underwater pancake. The shape of its body is so different. In this episode, we are going to learn what stingrays are, why they're shaped like a flying carpet, how they hunt, and why you should shuffle your feet at the beach.
Stay tuned until the end because we're going to reveal the story of the world's most giant stingray ever found. Spoiler, it's gigantic. So Olivia, if you wanted to explain a stingray to someone that has never seen one before, how would you describe it?
Okay, imagine a pancake. Now give that pancake wings and a tail, and eyes on the top of its head. Now make it swim around looking super chill. That's a stingray.
Perfect! Stingrays are actually cartilaginous fish. That's a fancy way of saying that their skeletons are made of cartilage like your nose and your ears. No bones.
That's right! They're in the same family as sharks. Sharks and stingrays are like ocean cousins.
Stingrays have some really epic abilities that make them stand out from other creatures of the ocean.
First up, they can camouflage themselves. They bury themselves in sand to hide from predators and sneak up on their food.
That allows them to be great hunters, surprising other animals like crabs or little fish when it's time for them to eat.
Stingrays also have electric senses. They can sense tiny electric fields made by the muscles of other animals. It's another super neat ability that allows them to be great hunters.
Plus, their mouths are underneath their bodies. That would be like if your mouth was on your belly button.
But what about the whole sting part? I'm guessing since they're called stingrays, they must sting.
Absolutely. Stingrays have a stinger, which is a sharp spine or barb on their tail. It's like their secret weapon if they get attacked.
That doesn't mean that stingrays are looking to attack. If a stingray stings, it's because it's scared and defending itself.
If you are walking in shallow water where stingrays might be hiding, you should do the stingray shuffle. Shuffle your feet across the sand. That way, you can warn stingrays that you're coming and they will swim away.
There are over 200 species of stingrays. Some are small enough to fit in your hand. And get this, the largest stingrays can be bigger than a car.
The neatest stingray might be the blue spotted stingray. It's bright blue and looks like it got attacked by a glitter bomb.
And there's the manta ray, which is related but gets gigantic.
Despite the fact that they are massive, manta rays are like the gentle giants of the ocean. They don't even have stingers.
Want to know something adorable? Baby stingrays are called pups, like short for puppies, but way more slippery.
Stingray moms give birth to live pups. They don't lay eggs like a lot of other fish.
And when they're born, baby stingrays already look like tiny, perfect mini versions of their parents, ready to zoom, flap, and eat crabs immediately. Nature is awesome.
From tiny stingrays to gigantic stingrays, let's talk about the record-breaking giant freshwater stingray.
It can be found in the rivers of Southeast Asia. One was found that was almost 13 feet long, and it weighed over 600 pounds. That's insane! And also makes me wonder how they weighed a huge stingray in the first place.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
All right, Olivia, it's time to bring your brother in to drop some insane stingray facts. Here with 5 unbelievable facts you need to know about stingrays is Noah. Take it away, Noah.
Fact number 1. Stingrays breathe through holes called spiracles. These little openings are behind their eyes and let them pull in water even when buried under sand. Fact number 2. Stingrays have been around for millions of years. They've existed since the Jurassic period, and they were swimming when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Fact number 3. Places like Stingray City in the Cayman Islands let you swim with friendly rays in shallow water. Fact number 4. Some stingrays can jump out of the water like dolphins. Fact number 5. The ancient Greeks and Romans thought the stingray venom could cure pain. Oopsies, they were wrong.
Awesome job, Noah! This is usually the point in the podcast where we answer the question of the week. But this week, we are going to take a small detour first. Luis from Texas wanted to learn more about the Heliobatus, a stingray that no longer exists. Let's learn more about Heliobatus, the ancient stingray.
Imagine a stingray that lived about 50 million years ago. That's Heliobatus, one of the world's earliest known stingrays. It's like the ancient grandpa of the stingrays you see today.
Heliobatus lived in a huge ancient lake called Fossil Lake, which was part of what is now Wyoming in the United States. Back then, it wasn't dry and rocky like today. It was a warm tropical paradise full of fish, turtles, crocodiles, and palm trees. Heliobatus swam around the shallow waters of the lake looking for food and trying to stay safe from bigger predators.
Heliobatus looked very similar to the stingrays we see today. It was about 18 inches or 45 centimeters long, which is about the size of a large pizza pie. It had a long tail with several barbs, which are sharp, pointy stingers. Some scientists think Heliobatus could have had 3 or 4 stingers on its tail.
It probably munched on small fish like crustaceans, like shrimp, and maybe even snails. It would glide over the sandy bottom of the lake using its super senses to detect prey hiding under the sand.
We know about Heliobatus because of fossils. Fossils are the preserved remains of ancient plants and animals. In Fossil Lake, the conditions were perfect for preserving the bodies of creatures like Heliobatus. Paleontologists have found amazing detailed fossils of Heliobatus.
Heliobatus is one of the oldest known stingrays, so it helps scientists understand how stingrays evolved over millions of years. Even though it lived so long ago, it shows us that stingrays have been pretty awesome at their job, swimming and surviving for a very, very long time.
In some fossil beds, paleontologists have found dozens of Heliobatus fossils together. This makes scientists wonder, did these ancient stingrays hang out in groups like underwater clubs? We don't know for sure, but it's fun to imagine a Heliobatus party at the bottom of Fossil Lake.
You know what else is fun? Answering the question of the week. Olivia, what is the average lifespan for a stingray?
Well, it depends. It turns out that female stingrays live a whole lot longer than male stingrays. The average male lives for 5 to 7 years, while the average female lives for 15 to 22 years. That's a huge difference. Also, unlike many other animals in the animal kingdom, female stingrays are also larger than male stingrays. Girl power!
Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode, but stick around for a big announcement.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's podcast number 309 on stingrays.
Great job, Olivia, and great job to Kingsley, Victor, Luca, Luis, Theo, and Nathaniel for an episode topic suggestion that helped us all raise our knowledge of stingrays. A couple of things before we say goodbye for the week.
The season 12 finale episode is coming up in 3 weeks. We have received a lot of requests to learn more about us. Do you want to ask a question to me, Noah, or my dad about us? Maybe you want to know my favorite video game, or Noah's favorite snack, or my dad's favorite music band. Well, guess what? We're taking questions about us in the season finale episode.
If you want to ask any of us a question, or if you have questions about Curious Kid Podcast and how we make these episodes, this is a great opportunity for you to ask your questions. Please send us an email to CuriousKidPodcast@gmail.com. Please make the subject of your email Season Finale Question. You have 2 weeks to submit your questions, so the deadline is Sunday, January 22nd. We look forward to answering your questions in the season finale.
We want to thank our newest Patreon supporters, Zachary B. and Lindsay C.
A big thanks to Zachary and Lindsay. If you are a big fan of the podcast, you should totally check out all of the extra perks available on Patreon. There is so much extra content on there for you to check out.
Patreon is spelled Patreon. Also, check us out on YouTube. We just reached 500 YouTube subscribers a few days ago.
We started our YouTube channel a couple of months ago, so we are stunned to be at 500 subscribers already. You can enjoy all our hundreds and hundreds of episodes on YouTube, and there are some fun videos on there for you to enjoy too. There are so many fun ways to stay tuned into Curious Kid Podcast between listening to episodes. A big thanks to all our YouTube subscribers. You're awesome! Join us next week when we will get curious about whirlpools for listeners in Florida, Pennsylvania, Canada, and New Zealand. As always, thank you so much for listening and getting curious with us.